Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to do the video all about Paris and Bisou. So we're going to start with Paris. Her full name is Paris Beauty and her birthday is October 13th, 2012, and she's 3 years old. Sit down, Paris. So we're going to get started about how I chose her name. Her breeder named her Beauty, and I wanted a name that represented glamour and elegance, and discussing that with my family, they came out with Paris and I fell in love, so it stuck. So we just kept Beauty as her middle name, and so her name is Paris Beauty. And we did name our bow shop after her. Actually, that was my sister's idea. She flipped the words around and said Beauty by Paris, and it works, so we kept it. Let's talk about how Paris came into my life. I had dog sat of Maltese for a friend of mine. I fell in love with the Maltese. She was so smart. I was so impressed with her breed, and I knew I wanted to have a Maltese of my own. So I was able to find a reputable breeder in my area, and she ended up having 2 females in the litter. So we started discussing things back and forth about what I needed to do in order to have Paris, and she prepared me as far as what I needed to bring her home. I'll plug that video in of me seeing Paris for the first time at the breeders. When I finally took Paris home, I found that Paris was having issues with her puppy food that she was on, and the breeder did tell me that she didn't really particularly like this brand of food, and the reason why she was on it was because of the weaning formula. It was the only food at the time that had some weaning in the ingredients to help them transition, I guess. She had to be on it for 2 months, and she sort of struggled with using the bathroom while being on that food. I had to take her to the vet about 3 times for it. But I was able to switch her off that puppy food, and she changed on into another brand. Paris was raised on drinking from a water bottle. The breeder had her on a little glass hamster water bottle, and Paris was fine with it, and I was able to give her that as a puppy. She drank from that, and as she was getting older, I was finding that she was drinking all of her water, and I felt that she might have needed a larger water bottle to satisfy her thirst. So when I switched her water bottle over to something larger, Paris ended up being scared of the little metal ball that's on the inside when she licks in the water drops. So I couldn't give her the water bottle anymore, and I knew I didn't want her to have a regular water bowl. So I was able to find, through talking to some other Maltese people, that they use a dry face bowl. And it so happens that the lady that designed the dry face bowl is in my area, and I was able to work with her to be able to offer the dry face bowl in my shop. So I have the 3 dry face bowls. I have one for Paris and one for Bisou, and I have a spare for Bisou that I keep in the travel bag. Paris in training. As a puppy, she was fine with training. I took her to PetSmart just to do like the basic commands. Because of my schedule, I had to do private classes. I couldn't do the big group classes. And Paris was fine with the puppy training. She was good about that. But then I found as she was getting older that Paris started barking more, and it was uncontrollable. I couldn't stop her, so I took her back for another set of lessons, hoping that they could help with that. So we went and did a few more commands, specifically a hush and speak command, and that didn't work. Speaking to other Maltese people about the barking to see if they could help me, and they thought try the water spray bottle. They also suggested an air compress can that's called Pet Corrector. That didn't work. So I'm kind of stuck with Paris and her barking. So Paris's bad habit is the sort of aggressive type of barking. She doesn't bark like what normal dogs would do, just bark, bark, bark until you tell them to hush. She kind of does it when she sees strangers, kids in particular, other dogs. So she doesn't get along with strangers, children, or other pets. I was considering getting a second dog to see if that would help her. Introducing her with another dog, I thought maybe that would help her break that habit or get her a little bit more adjusted. And it really didn't work. She's fine with Bisou, but she still does not get along well with other dogs. So I've just learned to deal with it. I don't force her. I don't take her anywhere like I used to because she just gets so worked up that it causes her to have stomach issues in the car ride to wherever we're going. So I just leave her alone, and it just works out that way. Otherwise, she's pretty good about knowing her commands. She knows the basics, and she knows a couple of tricks. So I'm good with that. So Paris is spayed. She was spayed at the age of 6 months. She's trying to talk to everyone. She wants to get down. She doesn't even want to be here. Let's talk about Paris now as an adult. Paris has a lot of dislikes. She's quite the diva. She does things like right now, as you can see, she's not cooperating with me. She does not want to be on this video whatsoever. She wants to get down and get into another room. Sit right there, Paris. She's quick to let you know what she likes and doesn't like. She growls to let you know. See? Just like that. Okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. So she's quick to let you know what she likes and doesn't like. She'll growl. She particularly does not like to be bathed. Her front legs and paws, she cannot stand if I touch her there. She will growl, and in the past she used to try to snap at me, but I've corrected that. What else don't you like, Paris? She doesn't like to be groomed. The top knot and bow she doesn't mind so much, but if brushing her out, going through like mats and things like that, she hates it. She does not even want to be brushed. So I believe if Paris had her choice of choosing to be another dog breed, I think her pick would be the Chinese crested. But little does she know that they also have to be like rubbed down with sunscreen, lotion, and things like that. But she is high maintenance. I do have to groom her every day, and she's just not a fan of it. And actually, how she's looking now, she's super fluffy. I don't normally let her get that fluffy. She stays in a puppy cut. I do all her grooming, her and Bisou. They're making this video so difficult to film. I don't know how else to do this video. So I groom Paris myself. I have since she was a puppy, and her first haircut was actually when she was 4 months old, and I wish I wouldn't have done it that soon. I sort of wish now that I would have let her grow a little fluffier, or see what she would have looked like full coats. At the time I wasn't really thinking about that. All I knew was that I wanted to keep her in a puppy cut. So she's actually getting her haircut tomorrow. Let's talk about a typical day with Paris. Sorry about the lighting, guys. I'm starting to lose daylight here, and I'm trying to hurry up and film this. This is like my 8th time trying to film this video because neither one of the girls are cooperating, and I have 1,001 things to do, so I'm trying to squeeze this in. Anyway, a typical day. And this is going to be both Paris and Bisou, and then I'll talk about Bisou. When we wake up, the first thing they do is they get a brush out. Then I take them to the bathroom, and that's where I brush their teeth and I do their top knot with the bow. Then they have a potty break. Excuse me, Bisou is stealing all the treats off the floor. After I do her top knot, then they go use the bathroom, and then they'll run around and play if the weather permits. If not, they come inside. We sort of play for a little bit, then I'll go put their food down, and they'll have breakfast, and then we'll play a little bit more, and then I start my day with orders or whatever I need to get done. And in the meantime, they'll either play on their own and sleep for a while. Then I take a break, we go back outside, they use the bathroom, play for a little bit if they want, maybe about 30 minutes, that's about the break I take. Come back in, again they sleep or play, up to them, whatever they want to do. And then we do a potty break in the afternoon, like late afternoon. Then I do a quick brush out just to kind of take down their bows and brush them out, wipe them down with the wet wipes. After that, they get their nighttime ponies in, I do like a little nighttime thing. I'll show you a video on that too. They stay up with me, they eat, and then their food gets picked up, and they just either play or sleep until it's time to go to bed. And that's pretty much their day. That's a typical day for them. Okay, I'm going to put Paris down and I'm going to put Bisou up. So let's see how this will work. Okay, this is the hardest video I have ever had to film. Neither one of these girls are cooperating with me. I keep moving them from one area to another. So really quick, all about Bisou. Her full name is Bisou Sucre. Her birthday is March 5th, 2015, and she's 8 months old. How Bisou came into my life. I knew I wanted to have another dog because of Paris, with her barking and not being able to do anything. I couldn't take her anywhere, so I sort of wanted another dog to see if that would help Paris with her barking and to kind of adjust to being able to see other dogs, as well as help her when I do have to leave her home alone. She howls, so I figured maybe having a companion with her may help. And plus, I wanted a dog that I can take out with me if I do dog events and things like that. So I went on a hunt for another dog. I knew I wanted it to be a long coat. I narrowed it down really quick because a Yorkie would have ended up being too fragile and small because Paris would have been the alpha dog. And I did not want another Maltese in case that was something prominent in the breed that of that kind of behavior. I really don't know. It was my fault for not researching further into that. I just got Paris, like I said, because I really liked the way the Maltese that I dog sat behaved. So I just assumed they were all like that. I knew I wanted a Shih Tzu because the Shih Tzu, they're pretty sturdy in their frame, and they can be the same size or bigger than what Paris is. Plus I can put a bow. So I knew I wanted a dark Shih Tzu, particularly black and white. And then I found a breeder, and she took the time out to really discuss things with me and about how the puppy would be with Paris, and maybe some suggestions on what to do and what not to do, and how to introduce them. So that all went well. The breeder at the time did not have a black and white Shih Tzu. She only had, the litter, in her litter, she had, I think, 3 females. One of them was already pretty much sold, like somebody was on the waiting list. And then Bisou ended up being the only solid one. And because she was dark, I figured it wouldn't be a problem with the tear staining. And so I was okay with having Bisou the color that she was. That's pretty much why I ended up with Bisou. Now let's talk about how I picked her name. I had her middle name picked out first, Sucre, which means sugar or sweet. Stay there, B. And I was asking for suggestions for her first name, and I knew I wanted something French, in the French family. And my mom went through a huge list of baby names. She was having a ball, and she wrote those down. I apologize for not showing that to you in this video like I said I would, but it's difficult enough trying to get Paris and Bisou to stay still for me to even do this. And that's why I'm talking like 100 miles an hour right now, because I'm trying to hurry and finish. But anyway, my mom went through a huge list of names. I really didn't like any of those names, and I knew that I liked the name Bijou, and we have a friend already with that name. So I was like, well, I kind of want my own name. So we ended up finding out Kiss in French was Bisou, and it sounded like Bijou, so I just went with it, and we kept it as her name. So her name is sort of like Sweet Kiss. Beatty, stay. Okay, you gonna fuss me now? Bisou did do training. I'm just skipping ahead here. I did whatever training that Paris did because I had those lessons already in Paris's binder. As you can see, we moved back to the bed. Alright, so I did the same training with Bisou as I did with Paris. I did it at home. I did not take her to PetSmart because I already went through the classes. I had the information. So I remembered what I had to do, and they were both clicker trained. I had the clicker. So Bisou picked up the commands pretty quickly, and Paris just did them with her, like alongside of her, and that was fine with me. So Bisou is also drinking from a dry face bowl. I can't remember if her breeder had her on a water bottle. It didn't matter to me because I was just like, you know what, they're both going to be on the dry face bowl, so I already had one waiting for her when she got home. She's smart, no problems with barking. no problems grooming. She's really good about all of that, and she actually enjoys taking a bath and being groomed. When I take her to brush out, she wags her tail, so she loves it. She does get matted, and she doesn't complain or get annoyed when I'm trying to go through those mats. So it's a joy to really have a one-on-one with Bisou with our grooming. I can sit there and take the time, and I'm not rushed like I am with Paris. So she really is my little sweetheart. I call her my sweet bee. That's one of her nicknames. Because she really is, she's such a joy, and I'm so happy I have her in my life. I think it does help to have a second dog. Well, for Paris, it did help her a little bit, but it didn't fix her problem. Bisou only went to the vet for her boosters, so she's fairly healthy, and she did get spayed already. She got spayed at 6 months, so that's all done. I am going to try to have Bisou in a full coat. Just because she is dark and she's losing some of that darkness already as her coat is growing out, and I know once I trim her it's going to be gone forever, so I'm trying to hang on to that little bit of dark on the tips of her hair on her coat as long as I can. But I probably will end up giving her a puppy cut way down the line, maybe after she's 1. Dislikes for Bisou. Bisou really doesn't have anything that she hates. I can't think of anything because she's so darn good no matter what I do with her. And maybe she doesn't like when the vet has to do a stool sample. Maybe that would be the one thing she hates. I think every dog hates that. So we'll list that as her dislike. She follows Paris's lead on everything. Potty training was so easy with her. Even right now at 8 months, she doesn't have any accidents inside. When Paris goes out to use the bathroom, Bisou goes out to use the bathroom, and sometimes they're even synchronized when they squat. They do it at the same time, and they kind of squat for the same length of time. So as far as potty training goes, that was easy. I lucked out with that. That's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else to tell you about Bisou. I know I'm trying to rush this video because they're giving me so much trouble even filming it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions below. Sorry I was trying to rush this, so I hope this video comes out good.